got the little man, you got the big man, and you got the bigger man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Wrapping up the week after Mania, that was. I am Kellen Nitro. Welcome to Nitro Maniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited and Nitro Steak for We Never Did Night 2. So we're going to talk about Night 2 and the week that was for Raw after Mania and SmackDown after Mania, over the past week. And just got to get opinions and everybody's thoughts on the whole deal. So if you'd like to make comments on what you thought of Mania and or Raw or SmackDown, there's comment boxes wherever you're watching, or if you're on Insta, just shoot me a DM or something. You know how it all works by this point. So then if you're brand new, thanks for tuning in and checking us out. So I'm Kellen Nitro. I'm going to bring in Mr. TL at the moment. How you doing, sir?
Hello, Stone Cold.
We're joking off air. We should just do Stone Cold country music the entire hour, and that's it.
That's right, singing about Poncho.
Poncho.
Hey, the solid ass cat, Poncho.
Poncho and Macho. They
Old
both are
Stone
solid
Cold is on the Saturday.
Yes.
I ain't doing too much, just making a bunch of bad decisions in a 24-hour span.
Running into fans, apparently, with the ATV.
I shouldn't have been there. God damn.
Was he under the influence or
I had a couple of Steve Wises in the back.
What? One Steve Weiser? What? Two? What? 3? 24?
And they come out there and they say, hey, Stone Cold, we need you to read a couple of numbers. I'd say, oh, Jesus Christ, kid, I can barely see right now.
Yeah. Is this a sobriety test? What's going on?
Well, that's a hell of a walk. I said, I'm going to need a ride out there.
Well, apparently,
old Stone Cold don't like to drink and drive, but special occasions.
Apparently, I don't know if you saw the video or not, but there was a video from somebody near the beginning of the entrance there that they shot. Apparently, Austin missed the on-ramp.
Yes, he did.
Right, and then he had to turn around, come back. And come. I don't know if he was 100% sober.
You know what I found was hilarious? This is a little bit of wrestling lore for you.
All right.
Remember once upon a time, CM Punk was doing a promo out in the crowd and someone kept pushing him in the back. And so he turned around and he elbowed the shit out of the wrong guy.
Yeah.
The wrong guy turned out to be the guy who always wears a green shirt at ringside.
Oh yeah, green shirt guy.
Yeah, so that was green shirt guy. I think they gave him a job after, so they could not get sued.
I think he has some lore to him. I think he's like an assistant, like brand manager or something for Kroger in the States. So that's how he can afford all the tickets, because he's got like a really well-paying like Fortune 500 job.
But I'm saying is the reason he didn't sue the WWE's ass off is because they must have made a deal where he always got
maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe he gets first crack. Yeah, something like that. So
maybe Nick Khan is going to have to break out the wallet for that lady.
Yes. Yeah. The wrong Khan you're talking about there. It's not Tony Khan, but Nick Khan. So we'll welcome in Morehouse as well, joining us tonight on the interwebs. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm feeling. I'm still recovering from the flu that I got during WrestleMania weekend. So, but at least I'm visual today, so that's better than last week. So I'm feeling as well as an Evan Bourne push.
There we go. I got a little bit of the allergy hay fever happening here, so I got the trusty old box of Kleenex beside me in case I start to running. So
don't forget to drink your tea.
What?
You need garbage water? No, I got my water.
Garbage water. Yeah.
No, garbage water is that all-American beer piss.
Oh no, yes it is. Yep, absolutely. Oh man. That was hilarious that, the whole Stone Cold thing, they're pushing Broken Skull throughout WrestleMania weekend, and there's real American branding all over the place. So it's like no Hulk Hogan to be seen whatsoever, obviously, but it's just
Yeah.
It's
That
like his
ain't gonna
last
last.
appearance didn't go that well.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm thinking that real American branding deal that they got is going to go by the wayside, and I think they'll be bringing in El Segundo and Broken Skull.
I honestly think he's hoping that the WWE just pays him out.
Yeah, I
That's
think
all he
so.
can hope for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah,
Nick
because
Khan's
they're
just
not
be
going to
like-
use him any publicity at all. So
Yeah.
Nick
I
Khan's
think-
going to open the wallet to here. Take the money and fuck off. We don't want your American beer.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, but no thanks at this point. So,
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
sure Tony will pay for it with that Ric Flair energy drink.
Oh, God.
Woo! Energy. Yes.
Wings.
So, all right. This is going to be a potpourri kind of show here. If you don't know what potpourri is, Google
It covers up the smell of shit.
It does. Not saying the show is
That's
shit.
why I always
but
see it in the
just,
washroom. That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes
exactly.
sense.
But we're going to open things up with a lively discussion on night 2 of WrestleMania, which took place on 4/20, Sunday, April 20th, 2025 in Las Vegas at the Allegiant Stadium. In front of another sold-out house, they claim at least. And I just realized I got to get my notes open. I will get my notes open as we get going here. But latest WrestleMania on record, guys. Latest WrestleMania weekend on record to ever happen.
And it was still bad timing because it fell right on Easter long weekend.
Yep, and they've learned because they are not doing it on Easter next year. They're doing it the weekend after Easter next year, April 11th and 12th.
So even later?
No, April 11th and
Easter
12th.
changes.
Easter's on the first weekend of April next year. Yeah. So
Cool.
I know, just to confuse everything. You know what screwed everything up? This is my rant against the leap year. The leap year screwed everything up.
But
It
we
wasn't
need
a
it.
year this year.
Yeah, it wasn't a leap year this year, but it was a leap year last year, and it moved everything back for this year for whatever reason.
Hey,
I
let's
don't
stop
know.
blaming calendars and get to this bullshit.
Tinfoil hat happening there at that point. But yeah, so there we go. Where are my notes? There they are. My notes disappeared. Now they've reappeared.
We're well
Get it together, woman. Get it together.
We'll start.
Harry.
We'll start with the Women's World Championship on the line. It was the opening contest. We had Io Sky defending her title against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, and the runtime for that bad boy was 14 minutes and 25 seconds. And Io defeats Bianca and Rhea by pinfall in what I thought was a fairly decent and enjoyable opener. The finish was the Riptide attempt countered into the KOD, but as Bianca was getting the 2 count, Io lands the over the moonsault on Bianca for the 1-2-3. What a great visual for that. Yeah, I'm just to sum up, it was a very enjoyable opener for me. I quite enjoyed it.
I
Discuss.
can't argue with you. It was I thought it was a nice pairing with the other 3-way match from Saturday, where the first 3-way match was more 2-on-2 all the time, where this one was all 3 girls at the same time most of the time. So it was a completely different playbook for the 3-way, but it also worked just as well as the last one from Saturday. I have no complaints. I thought all 3 women have done well here, and even Meltzer gave it the first a 5-star wrestling match for females in WWE ever.
Oh, really? So it got 5 stars
Yep.
from Meltzer. Okay. Interesting.
Yep, first one. Yep.
Yeah.
Not in the
Mr.
Tokyo
TL
Dome either, which is crazy.
Mr. TL looks like he has some contrarian thoughts to this thing, so we'll let him.
Oh, no, I just think Meltzer's 5-star ratings don't mean
Oh, okay.
They don't mean a shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
No,
fair
because they're
enough.
6.5, I think they've hit already.
He's broke his own rating system. Yes, exactly. So
His brain is what's broke.
one can argue there's many things wrong with it.
But I'm not gonna disagree here. I dare say this might be number 2 best opening match in WrestleMania history.
Really? Wow.
Is your first Brett Owen?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
All right.
that high up.
And it's
eh?
gonna force me to go back and watch Brett Owen again just to make sure it's still number 1. That's how good this one was for me.
That's your homework for the TNA Unbreakable show.
Done deal.
All right.
Well, just
have to do it. I think-
like a quick aside.
I think we
Yes.
should all watch it and compare.
But yeah, I think so. Sure, that would be fun. Yeah, I always love watching Brett and Owen from Mania. That's great. That's always a fun match. I don't think it's up there with Brett and Owen for an opener. But I really enjoyed it. So
the crowd was into it. They were way more hot than they were in night one.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
The match was not botch city.
No, it was smooth. It was a smooth match.
I would even say
everybody
Brett Owen, very hotter than Brett Owen crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for a championship. It was, right out of the gate, they just went for it and they did not stop. There was no slowdown. It got like 3 "This is awesome" chants. Like the crowd was digging it.
Mm.
And then watching it from home,
going at it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And just watching it from home, like, damn, it's a good women's match.
Yes, exactly.
So what more do you want? And it finished pretty clean. There was no bullshit going on.
No,
I like the right person won because coming in,
I think so.
You didn't pick her, and that was the whole storyline. Was she was always the third wheel here?
Yeah. Everybody was overlooking Io, and then she comes back out the next night on Raw and has a banger of a match with Stephanie Becker, and that was it.
She pulled an Edge. Remember? It was Edge, Cena, and Orton had a triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
And then Edge won. And then the night after, he told everyone, "You are wrong. You are wrong."
Yep.
I remember that. Yes, for sure. So there we go. Oh, I forgot to do this.
It was the same thing where Orton came in as a title holder, left as a title holder. Cena Triple H was the storyline.
Okay. Yes, I remember that.
That was earlier.
What Mania was that now? Anyway.
I don't even remember. Triple H.
Was it 25? I figured it was 25. Yeah, it was 25. Yeah.
No.
Well, that
25 was just Orton and Triple H stinking up the joint.
That was 23. I think it was older one than that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
I was going to say, if it's from 20, if it was from 25, it all gets overshadowed by Taker Michaels. Anyway.
If only we had a computer. 1 second here.
I know.
Hey, while you do that, are we allowed
I'm going to do Undertaker.
Okay, you do Undertaker. The house will investigate.
Undertaker! God! I have to scream with all the news and notes, but anyway.
And are we allowed to mention about how Triple H's Hall of Fame speech is probably still going on?
Yes, you can. It's like 6 days, 14 hours, and
I'm sure during his Hall of Fame speech, he talked about his great match with Randy Orton and John Cena at WrestleMania 24.
Oh,
24. Orlando. Okay, gotcha. Fair enough.
What else happened at 24? Because I don't remember.
That's a Ric Flair retirement.
So Edge Taker,
Streak versus Streak, and then Ric Flair and HBK.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I'm caught up now.
And the Money in a Bank with CM Punk winning, I believe.
Is that Floyd Mayweather too?
Yes. Mayweather Big Show was on that.
Yeah. Okay, that was good.
Yes.
Yeah. The very first PLE ever in HD, WrestleMania 24.
Nice.
Fun facts. Because I have the Blu-ray, and it was the very first Blu-ray they ever produced. So boom. Enjoyable. Like I said, enjoyable opener. We all seem to like it, so there we go. We'll move on to the next contest from WrestleMania Night 2. This was the Sin City Street Fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. And this one ran 13 minutes and 55 seconds with Drew McIntyre defeating Damian Priest by pinfall. So he gets revenge from that whole cash-in deal from the year before at Mania. And again, I have written down from my notes here from a week ago. What do I have to say there? Yeah, banger bout, good fight. So you called it banger. Yeah, banger.
That's what I said. That was a banger.
Yep. It's a banger.
Two big beefy boys beating each other up with slaps and hard hits and garbage cans and anything you can find. It was a good match.
Mm-hmm. The first 2 matches, by the way, made our match of the night poll over on X, on the at Kellen Nitro X account.
So where do Drew and Damien go from here? Would be my next question.
Well, we saw we saw last night on SmackDown. Drew is getting worked into the U.S. title picture, perhaps for Backlash there. That's if I watched the first like 2.5 hours of SmackDown, so I didn't see how the main event ended for that. But
I finished it.
Oh yeah, and You can go ahead and spoil. It's all good.
They finished in a no contest for the number one contender between Drew McIntyre and LA Knight to take off Fatu.
So that's probably going to be a triple threat at Backlash, I would think.
Maybe.
Yeah. How that's shaping up.
Or it might be a fatal four-way because Damian Priest came out and started to fight a little bit as well against Drew McIntyre.
Okay. SmackDown fatal four-way for that? That could work. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's nothing where to put Drew or Damian right now, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. But there we go. Yeah, that's banger bout, good fight, good pace. Again, crowd was hot. Love that crowd on night 2. Just throughout. That's going to be the theme throughout now night 2. Crowd brought it for night 2.
Did you also like Drew McIntyre's Doom entrance?
Oh Lord!
Again with the video game tie-ins. What's going on with this?
Yep.
This is weird to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant that awful guitar riff before Damian Priest's entrance.
Oh, with Kenny King from Slayer.
Oh, Kerry King, yeah, from Slayer, yeah.
Or Kerry King, yes.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Kenny King
I
is a
don't
wrestler
care.
from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they're it's weird because hard rock, heavy metal acts and that stuff for arena entrances on PLEs and that stuff. It's such a fine line if it'll work or not. And
Would you rather have that or Swerve's drummer?
Oh
yeah.
I saw that on Twitter. Good Lord. Woo! Not on beat or anything. I don't know what he was playing.
No, the tape was playing at a different rate where he was, and that was bad. Yeah,
but this guitar solo, like, you ever used to play Rock Band?
Yes,
the video game, and then like every time that you missed the note, it would go bam, bam, bam.
Yeah,
it sounded like a whole solo of that.
You picked a level too harder than you should be on. Yeah. You've picked a level too hard than you should be.
You got to go back down to easy and start strumming out Painted Black again.
Yeah.
Back to Joan Jett, guy.
Duke. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Live performances for entrances. I think we should actually one day sit down and draw up what we think would be the perfect PLE/PPV code of conduct. Like what elements would we want in a PLE PPV to make it, a 10 out of 10 or at least a 9 out of 10 show? Because there is no 10 out of 10 is perfection. Perfection is impossible. You can't achieve perfection at all. But you can achieve a 9.75. You can achieve a 9.8, 9.9.
Orchestras with every entrance would get a big gold for me.
Yeah.
Oh, for entrances only?
Well, no, I meant like the entire
ambience. I think he's looking for ambience.
I'm talking total presentation from minute 0 to 2:45:50. Go to black or something.
Like great matches, pyro, everything.
Yeah. So not the perfect card, but like the perfect PLE. What elements would have with it?
The perfect production. Like Clash at the Castle, I thought. Was production.
Yeah. Or, what show that brings me up that says...
Wrestle Dynasty was a terrible production.
Yeah, that one was bad. That one was terrible. I liked a lot of the production from like 05, 06 era WWE Raw and SmackDown branded pay-per-views.
I like 0102 is when I noticed the production change.
Oh,
like the lighting changed significantly with WWE.
The Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
That was a fun show. Yeah.
That was a banger.
To me, that was like perfect production. The way that they started incorporating the drone shots and the Bad Bunny entrance and the Selena Vega. And that was a 10 out of 10.
I think that was Lee Fitting's first show as executive producer, or one of the first ones he did. So that's why we saw all that stuff. Because he was bringing all the drones, all the different camera angles and stuff, and the follow cam and stuff like that. Those are all Lee Fitting ideas. Yeah.
No, he killed it on that one.
So
a lot of dolly cams. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that. But anyways, that's another show for another time when we're trying to figure out stuff.
Anything to not talk about this show, hey Nitro?
No, I'm going to jump to the next match. Actually, I'm just going to move it along. The WWE Intercontinental Title Fatal 4-Way: Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. The runtime for this thing was. There's our graphic. The runtime for this thing was 10 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's Dominic Mysterio winning his first singles title in that time frame. I really like the finish. The finish for this thing was very enjoyable. Balor hitting the coup de grace on Braun Breaker, but while Finn is getting the 2 count, Dom hits the frog splash for the 1-2-3. And we have the new IC champ, Dirty Dom Mysterio. The only issue now is our guaranteed heat magnet, Dominic Mysterio, turned face. The crowd cheered him out of the building, and he was cheered on Raw the next night. He's a baby face now, damn it.
No, he won't. Nope.
He is now a baby face, yep.
Nope.
Finn will be the heel when Finn turns, yep.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's... I like having Dom as the universal heel that everybody hates.
Babyface. I will say I did not see the turn coming at all. The babyface turn going into the night. I did see Dom winning the match, but I thought he was going to be sneaky cheat and win. That's how he normally does it. He was still sneaky cheated and win, but the crowd loved it.
Yeah.
Well, the crowd is cheering him from the entrance, and that's because WrestleMania is a heel crowd. And
it's a travel crowd, yeah.
And so is the Raw after Mania. So, I mean, give this maybe next week, and it won't be the same.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll be back to booing Dom again. They can get that back easy. He's not a face.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if, like you said, next week and see if that trends towards that direction. But, yeah, Dom running back to the ring and getting the pop from the crowd, that was awesome. And it was that finish to that match was great. I thought all 4 men brought it, and I thought it was just a great match. Like there was a match.
There was never a dead spot. There was never a dead spot during this match, and that's what keeps the crowd invested into the match. So they're not watching people just recover or rest, what you see a lot in other multi-matches like this.
Yeah,
agreed. This is a banger of a match. They're 3 for 3 on night 2 so far.
Yeah.
There
we go. I mean, that was
what could go wrong, right?
The crowd popper. Well, we'll see if they continue to trend here with us here, because the next thing that popped up was Randy Orton versus TBA. Who's Orton going to fight? Orton's rocking the throwback blue tights to his rookie year in this. And then all of a sudden we get the music and say his name, and he appears. No, it is not Craig P. Frazier, but it is Joe Hendry. And the TNA champion is there to take on Randy Orton. They didn't have a graphic for that, so I had to pull the photo from the website, but there we go.
And a giant baby face.
Yeah, exactly. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, I didn't notice that in the crowd. Look at it. That is a huge kid's face. Just what a cross-section of people. Just right there. It's like if there's your stereotypical wrestling crowd, right? It's just unreal. But anyway, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Randy Orton defeating Joe Hendry by pinfall. Yeah, Hendry posed and Orton hit the RKO. And
that was perfectly shot.
Yeah. It was great because Hendry does like the Okada Rainmaker thing where the camera does a move in on Hendry. Yeah. Instead of zooming out, it zooms in on Hendry. Yeah. And Hendry does like the like that, And then
pose,
typically it's a huge pop. Well, he got the huge pop and then he got RKO'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it was funny. It was a nice little moment. It's good to see Hendry get his WrestleMania moment out of absolutely nowhere. So good for him. Mm-hmm. A little bad that the TNA champion would lose 3 minutes to Randy Orton. That's not a good look.
No.
And also looked like a dummy.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Then they started posing together, and then he got another RKO when they started posing together.
Yes, he did.
So apparently, by beating Joe Hendry, I had written down here at the time, so does Orton get a TNA title shot? He does not get a TNA title shot, but he gets a Universal title shot. We'll talk about that match a little bit later on, but he's one half of the main event coming up in Backlash in St. Louis for the Universal title off of this. So push him to the moon. Damn it. Yeah. Yep. Push him to the moon. So
I guess it makes sense story-wise. You have a goof that keeps posing for a camera. So naturally, this legend who's still at the peak of his game is just going to be like, I'm going to hit him with my finisher now.
And who was amped to be there? Like, he wanted a match, 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary of him wrestling, and you know, he's up to number of WrestleManias. He's 14-time world champion, going for 15. He wants, he is. You know what? Bringing the smoke.
To me, the other thing that you got to think about, Orton, earlier in his career, was not a very big fan of independent wrestling or indie wrestling.
No, I have written down here too that this made me laugh because I believe in 05 and 06.
I'm going to not only work with an indie guy, I'm going to let him get a few moves in too.
Yeah. I believe in 05 and 06, he had made comments in TNA in particular saying none of the wrestlers can hang with us or something. So, yeah. So it did make me laugh. I was like, oh my God, it's karma. It's 20 years too late, but it's karma.
I think it just shows Orton's grown up a lot since he was
a kid.
Absolutely.
It made me chuckle.
I just thought about something. What if Joe Hendry takes this and changes his character a bit to be a bit more serious?
Yeah.
Just to be like, you know what? I went out there and I've been my goofy self and it got me the TNA championship, but it also just got me embarrassed in front of 63,000 people. Maybe I need to be maybe a heel, but I'm just saying maybe just like to be a bit more, he has to take himself more seriously.
We'll have to see what happens in TNA, because obviously he's a champion there. If they decide to go that route with him,
I'm not doing that.
A little darker, whatever. I'll keep an ear to the ground on that. I'm not going to keep eyeballs on it.
That now.
I know it's easier than ever to get, but
I just don't need that much wrestling in my life.
I don't either. I don't have time for it anymore. So.
I don't even watch AEW.
Yeah. There's better things to do on Wednesdays, especially nowadays. Now that we got the playoffs back in full swing, you know, obviously go Oilers, but there we go.
We're checked out for the next few months.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but on the everyday, I mean, if you can't compete with a Wing Wednesday, what are we doing?
Yeah,
you know, what are we doing?
Damn right. Wing Wednesdays, shit.
Woo, Wing Wednesdays.
Wednesdays, yes.
Except that one restaurant Wednesday on Wednesday, and they were doing Taco Wednesday and Wing Tuesday.
What?
They should be closed and arrested and burned.
Blasphemy.
Yes.
They're actually a franchise, so they're not closing anytime soon.
Who are they? I want names.
I'm not giving any sponsorship, but I'll tell you off camera.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You can once Morehouse gets the kayfabe wrestling stuff all started on social media, you can send him the smoke off of this.
Next match.
For sure. The next match is Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Yes. The runtime for this one was 17 minutes and 50 seconds. Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles. What was the finish for that one? This was Paul hits the Styles Clash, but AJ hit his own. Karrion Kross breaks this Jeff dude at ringside, who is, I guess, a buddy of Logan's.
He's the co-host of Logan Paul's podcast.
Okay, yeah. So there we go.
Oh, you're a member. Oh, okay.
I'd have to watch the product to know.
I've seen 2 episodes because he had some wrestlers on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had Rey Mysterio and somebody else, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch. I'm like, this is more annoying than Pat McAfee, and that's saying something.
Wow.
He was going to, but anyway, he was going to blast AJ with the brass knucks. AJ blasts Karrion on ringside because he will not. He's an honorable babyface right now, AJ Styles. He does not want to use any weapons or anything like that to win. So he throws the nuts away. But then Logan hits the titanium right hand into the pulverizer for the 1-2-3. Good match, kind of a weak finish, I thought. And I also have written down here that this should have been maybe on night 1 and shift like maybe Jade Naomi to night 2, but
this match had no heat for me going into it. I was more interested in the AJ Karrion Kross storyline than the AJ Logan Paul storyline.
Yeah.
They're continuing on, which is good going on Raw there. But I think everyone in the world knew that, hey, Logan hasn't won at Mania in a while. AJ's not a guy that WWE is really invested in anymore. It's a perfect time for him to get the win. It would have been nice to see AJ do more of a heelish move, but instead he rejects the weapon, which will be a problem because I think we'll see this again very soon on this night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe they did the same finish twice
Yes.
in the same night.
Mhm.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then post this match, it was on the WrestleMania recap show. Looks like we're going to get a Karrion Kross versus Logan Paul program somewhere down the line here in the next couple of months or so.
Yeah, but first it's
I
going to
don't
be
see that.
Karrion and AJ.
Do you think
Yes.
there's still enough there enough meat on the bone there? that?
Yeah, given what happened on
Yep.
Raw or SmackDown or whatever that show was.
Yeah, they built more of that story on Raw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so this is continuing in one way or the other, but there we
Look,
go.
basically they wanted Logan Paul on the card because he's a big name. They wanted to have him a spot fest kind of match, but they still wanted to have a good match. So they threw
Yes.
AJ Styles at him. Really, there was no storyline here. And there won't be anything for Logan Paul coming out of the other end of this.
Mhm.
No, I think
No.
this is actually probably a contract that Logan has. Like, hey, I have to be at this certain amount of PPEs. All right, I guess we'll have to get you on here.
Yeah, we have nothing for you, but we have something for you. Here you go. So I got you.
Honestly, I don't know what next they can give him that would be of any interest.
Mm.
No,
Yeah,
he
it's-
doesn't have, like, the crowd's turned on him. The crowd gives him X-Pac heat. Nobody wants to see him anymore.
Yeah.
Although he does prove himself in the ring every time he gets in. So there is that factor.
Yeah, we like matches, but as soon as he has to talk, we're like, oh yeah, we don't like this guy at all.
Well, the thing is, though, he is a good heel. Like, he's not boring. He does the job of he gets major heat.
Yeah.
And then when he gets in the ring, he backs it up and then he finishes it in a way where you still hate him. So, like, he's like a better version of The Miz.
Yeah, and his celebrity kind of quote main event spot right now for him being a celebrity kind of has been gift wrapped to Travis Scott a bit.
Yeah.
Because we'll talk about that as we get up
We'll get
to
into
it,
that.
but
I
we'll
got
get into it.
opinions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll jump to the next match after that. That was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. We had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who were the champions, taking on Lyra, Valkyria, and question mark.
It was supposed to be Bailey, but she got injured, so they pulled her out.
Yes, exactly.
But they found out she was not injured at all. They just don't like Bailey.
Yeah, that was kind of bizarre. I don't know exactly what was happening there. Well, the mystery partner was Becky Lynch. And so Lyra and Becky defeat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez by pinfall for the tag team match on that night in 8 minutes and 40 seconds. We can talk about that match first, and then I can talk about what happened on Raw right after. But,
Hogan posing.
Oh, was this a nod to WrestleMania 9 is what you're saying here?
I think it is. I think we have a similar situation here where Bailey was originally booked a week out for this match, and then Becky's like, you know what, I feel like going back into it. And then they're like, well, what can we do? Well, Bailey's not really important to this thing, so we can just pull her out. What do you think about this, Becky? That works for me, brother.
Becky is Bret Hart. Or not Becky is Bret Hart. No,
Becky.
Bailey is Bret Hart. Bailey is Bret Hart in this situation. Sorry, yeah.
And then we had a follow-up. Then we had a follow-up podcast after Mania here with Chris Van Fleet, where him and Bailey basically discussed why she got kicked off Mania and how she's not feeling utilized anymore at WWE, and she's now considering other options next year.
That's not at all what happened. What?
Yeah, it is.
I watched that interview. That's not what she said at all. She said she's very loyal to WWE.
No, it's someone else. It was another interview. Was it not Chris? Who was it?
I haven't seen the interview.
The one with Chris is where she says that she doesn't feel that she's on the level of a Becky and a Charlotte, and she doesn't know how to get to that next level. And she says there's no heated backstage. She has great relationships with everybody from Nick Khan to Triple H to Bruce Pritchard to everybody in the back. Nothing but respect from the locker room. Yeah. She just doesn't know what the next step and how to get there. And I'm kind of watching this and going like, have you not watched your work at all?
I know. That's
like you don't have a character. Nobody can explain you. Your theme music sucks. No one knows whether to cheer for you or not. Like, you're not interesting. That's your next level. Whether you get booed or whether you get cheered, you need to be interesting. I can't even explain what Bailey is to somebody who doesn't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
She's just a girl with a big ass that can wrestle.
To me, she's an old, grizzled veteran.
Okay, yeah, fine. You could be a good technician in the ring, but you got to bring something.
Yep.
Like people got to buy some merch.
Yep.
They gotta be interested in some way. You had all that when you had the hugger gimmick. You gave it up because, admittedly, being a hugger to thousands of people every single day.
That was starting to get a little stale. So I still think they turned her.
Well,
heel
yeah,
at
because
about the right
it's
time-ish.
juvenile, really.
Yeah.
But like,
What do you
do?
do? Her first heel was good.
Yeah. Damage control,
I like
honestly though.
her Ding Dong Hello Porter character.
Yeah.
It was stupid. Honestly, like what was the character? Ding Dong Hello Idiots. Okay. And you were basically Vicky Guerrero, but you could wrestle.
Obnoxious heel that could wrestle. That's it.
Like there's nothing to grab onto. There's no character.
Yeah.
Until she figures that out, she's always going to be in that situation.
And if she goes to AEW, I guess she can hang out with Sasha. But
and do what? She'll have great matches against a bunch of people I've never heard of. And then what?
It doesn't really propel her.
AEW?
Yeah.
Isn't that AEW women's wrestling though? Other than Toni Storm, it's just nothing.
Yeah, literally.
Basically is, yeah.
You know what she is?
Yeah.
She's the Cesaro of the women's division.
Ooh. Okay.
Take. That's a good take.
Comments on a postcard. There we go. Next night on Raw. So we'll jumping back to the tag match here. Next night on Raw, there is a rematch for the women's tag titles here, and Liv and Raquel end up regaining the belts, and we have a split because this launches the women's intercontinental title program between Becky and Lyra. Yes, Hogan must pose, brother.
Oh yeah, because honestly, they don't need the belts. Liv and Raquel actually need the belts.
Yes.
What's her face? Lynch and
there was no point
Lyra.
to change the belts. No.
Yeah, and it was just for the shock factor and for the WrestleMania of it.
Yeah.
Lynch and Lyra are not going to stick together. They're going to have a nice program together. Two Irish girls, one mentor and one the mentee, and we'll see what happens. I kind of don't get Lyra right now. I don't get her.
Bird Girl.
Okay.
Bird Girl. That's her character.
Doom,
She's half
doom,
woman, half bird.
Doom, woo, doom, woo. Like, okay, and
She's
you ever watch Rick and Morty? She's like bird person.
Well, I was thinking she's going to end up like the old lady at the end of Home Alone 2, the pigeon lady that lives up in the rafters of the New York Philharmonic.
That's her new character.
I really wish I watched
bird feed on her opponent.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, now it's getting a bit too much like the birds from
all the doves come flying down from the
No.
At least
honestly, yeah. Oh, there you go. That's what Bailey could be.
Oh,
bird woman.
I forgot to mention this. This made me laugh so hard during the match. So Lyra in her outfit had a bunch of feathers on, like in her hair and stuff, and on her gear and everything. The problem is that every time she got punched, a feather flew off. So by the end of this thing, the whole ring was filled with feathers. It looked like it was like a pillow fight that went on.
They beat the stuffing out of her.
They beat
My
the
God,
feathers
King,
off
they're
the
plucking
bird
her
lady.
alive.
That would have been perfect. That would have been perfect fodder for Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah. She's going to be a plucked chicken by the end of this.
She looks like a plucked chicken. Will you stop? Yeah.
Would you?
So, all right. After this, we had old Stone Cold come out. He crashes into the barrier and announces 63,000.
No. Explain the whole thing where he crashed into the on ramp and then oh God.
So, I think he was,
Cold.
I think he was three sheets to win myself, but anyway. Because what do legends do WrestleMania weekend? You're a legend. Okay. You're there to get a payday. You might do a couple autograph sessions. What else do you do? Oh, you drink. Okay. So I think that's what he was doing in the back, maybe sampling a bit of the product with the boys, and so jumped on the ATV for this bit and missed he missed the entrance ramp. There's video of him online where he's doing a donut and burning around, coming back up on the entrance ramp. And then he comes ripping around the corner at like 100 miles per hour and smashes into the barrier, knocks some lady,
out of her seat. Yeah,
out of her seat. The lady takes I'm sorry, like the bump looked rehearsed with the lady.
Yeah. She like looked at him and then fell back.
Yeah, she's like,
"What are you
money
doing?"
off this.
Well, I mean,
She
and then I saw Lionel Hutz come down. Lionel Hutz came down the stairs and it's like, hey, I saw that.
Lionel Hutz, attorney at law. Mrs. Simpson, I just saw Stone Cold run into you with an ATV. You have a lawsuit.
Yes, of course. Lionel Hutz.
I just had an image of Stone Cold in the back, and then like for every end of the match, when the people come through the curtain, he's got a beer waiting for him. Hey kid, that was a hell of a match. Why don't you have a beer with old Stone Cold? But now they're 5 matches in, and he's just like,
when WWE buys like 75,000 cans of your product, you have to shill it somewhere, right? So
that reminds me of the story of WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that reminds me of the WrestleMania 17 story where Jericho was dressed up as Doink, and he walks by Shawn Michaels, and Michael's like, Are you Doink now? No, I'm just being Doink for this gimmick, this character angle. They made you Doink? No, I'm just doing an angle where I'm dressed as Doink to attack Regal. I can't believe they made you Doink. What a waste.
That's pretty funny.
That's good. I love that. That's great. So a week away from that, I haven't heard anything about the person at all or anything. So I'm assuming stuff was either settled or whatever, or they just told her to GTFO or something. So whatever. But
they paid her handsomely.
I think you have 2 years
to.
Yep. You have 2 years to do any settlements.
Okay. So we might have still not have heard of something. Okay.
I think there's footage.
Yeah, she could wait till year 2.
Yeah.
I think there was footage of Nick Khan swimming through the crowd and getting to her and like giving her money out of his wallet. Nick was in the ring.
Yeah, Nick was there ringside for sure. I think
they settled live
when I watched it. Yeah. He bolted over that barrier, man. He was boom.
And once they got in the back,
settle, please.
Once they get in the back, Stone Cold. Oh hell, that was a close one.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, it looks like you could have it. You could use a drink. Why don't you have a cold one to Stone Cold?
The suspension on that ATV too. He did some damage to that suspension because he plugged into the barrier, and so the suspension on it on an ATV usually is like this. His wheels were like that. It's on a faraway shot. The wheels were bent on it. It looked like an Indy car after it hit the wall or something. That's cool. Anyways, whatever. We'll go on to the Undisputed Championship. WWE Undisputed Championship. The last time is now Cody Rhodes, John Cena. This thing ran, what was the run time for this? 21:40. And we have a new Universal Champion, the record breaker. Number 17 came to fruition on night 2 of WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes loses the title to John Cena, who is the 17-time champion of WWE.
He's lost it 16 times before.
Yes.
He has.
Well,
Thanks,
Orton's lost it 13 times, then, if that's the case.
Yeah, thanks, RVD, for that mathematical update.
Or 14 times. He's not a belt holder right now, so.
You know what's hilarious? I watched this match at my parents' house on Easter Sunday, and it was just down to like me cleaning up dishes and my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
And then I sat down with my dad and we watched the main event. And my dad used to watch wrestling way back when it was Stampede Wrestling.
Yeah.
And they would have the shows up here and in Calgary.
Yes.
So like he was an old school fan, and he kind of dropped out as, you become a dad and get older and you lose touch with things. Yeah. But he's watching this now, and he's just making this most random comments that I just couldn't help laugh at every time. He's like, look at John Cena. He looks pale. He's not as big as I remember. He got smaller, huh? Where's his hair? What happened to the hair in his back? Is that guy got a neck tattoo? That's awful.
It is, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's like, And he's got a chest tattoo. I think those should be switched. I'm like, I know, Dad. I know. He's got a neck tattoo in his chest and a chest tattoo in his neck. But as
oh man.
but like
how
you're doing the match.
How was the dinner at least? Was the dinner good?
Oh yeah, I cooked my ass off, man. I made that turkey.
Nice. Right on.
That was a great turkey. Oh yeah, then who's this guy coming out? Man, he walks slow. Who is this?
Yeah, the Travis Scott thing.
It's a man who doesn't. It's a man who doesn't understand timing at all.
Well, I mean, it was 420, and who knows how blitzed he must have been. He's the one that brought weed to the ring on a Raw and was like smoking it right next to Jey Uso.
Yes.
So who
He offered
knows
Jey Uso,
how?
I believe he was coming down.
Yeah.
So let's recap Travis Scott's WWE arc to this point. Shows up, is carrying and is smoking, joints and that stuff in the ring with Jey Uso.
Blunts, my friend. Blunts.
Passing the blunts, yep.
Passing the blunts, yes. Shows up to the Royal Rumble and starts potatoing Cody Rhodes in a beatdown, like actually laying in the freaking punches.
At the elimination, yeah.
At the elimination chamber, I should say. Sorry, my mistake. Shows up to WrestleMania, has the slowest entrance of all time, and that's counting all of the Undertaker's entrances.
Yep.
Like this guy was moving even slower than Travis Scott is like.
Yeah,
if you created a wrestler in the old
actually,
SmackDown Raw games and gave him the Undertaker's entrance because you thought it looked cool, and then you watch him walk down the ring, you have your buddies over, and they're like, "Nah, that's not cool. He's taking too freaking long to get in the ring."
Oh, and by the way,
I was
meanwhile,
watching the entrance and I was surprised because the Iron Sheik actually passed Travis Scott on the entrance to the ring.
Well, it's the old joke. It's going to be WrestleMania 32 by the time she gets the ring. Well, it came
He gets to the ring, yeah.
He did get to that ring.
and meanwhile, me song that they've been playing a million times since the Royal Rumble, which just pissed me off. Yeah,
It never ends.
Is that the only word in that song?
He mumbled something.
Oh my God.
There was even a funny TikTok that was released with Logan Paul saying, if I hear that theme song again, I'm going to punch him in the effing.
Yeah. There are people, he kind of overdid it when there's people on staff that are wrestling in the show. They're like, okay, I don't need to hear this ever again.
Never. So yeah, he finally gets to the ring.
Yeah.
My dad's like, what's he doing? Who is he?
How much does this guy weigh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my dad. Is he the hardcore champion?
Is he? Yeah, that's another thing too. What's he even walking around with a hardcore title?
And my dad's like, they still have that?
Oh, he never.
Oh man. And then what happens when my dad's like, well, that's no good. He cheated.
Duh.
I'm like, I know, Dad, I know. But everyone's cheering. Is he the good guy? No, Dad. No, he's not.
No, he's not the good guy anymore. No.
It's like, well, I didn't like that at all. I'm like, me neither, Dad. Me neither.
0 out of 10
neither,
for Mr. DL's father. Yes. Oh man. So
it was fun. It was a fun watch just to have those comments. But like,
I bet. Yes. Yeah.
But that ending was so bullshit.
It
wasn't a great ending. No.
It made Cody look insanely weak because he got beat up by a 120-pound rapper and an old John Cena.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We jumped ahead quite a bit, but Cody Rhodes had freestyle motocross guys on bikes for his entrance to this thing. And I didn't get that at all. Why were we X Games for like 2 minutes?
I think no, it's just the spectacle of WrestleMania. You just do a little something extra on your.
Okay. Gotcha.
Just like when Triple H did the Terminator head raise thing.
But that was a tie-in. That was a tie-in with Arnold and the video game for 2K15.
No, but there's always been entrances like that because you've had like Rey Mysterio's Aztec entrance, and we're not in Mexico at the
Right.
time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But he's Mexican, so that's kind of different.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels on the zip line. It had no meaning. It was just something cool to see.
So,
Yep.
you mentioned TL that the main event on night one was a quote unquote, and this is your words, dick deflator.
And so was this.
I was going to say, night two, was this the literal kick in the dick? Because it was a kick in the dick.
I predicted that they wouldn't have a dick deflator to leave WrestleMania because of the dick deflator in night one. And yet they go and they have another dick deflator. I'm like, what are you doing? This is Mania. You got to send the people home somewhat happy. What the hell is this?
I mean, for this match, I did pick John Cena going in to win the title. I thought there'd be more involvement from The Rock, who was involved in the storyline somewhat, but not at all.
Show up at all. Nope.
No.
The only time we saw Rock all weekend was
and then they did address on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Yes, and The Rock on the Pat McAfee show said, "I thought the story was already told. There's nothing else on my part to tell."
Yeah,
bullshit.
That's the back
weird. Something weird went on here because Triple H didn't mention The Rock once during his 9-hour acceptance speech of the Hall of Fame.
No.
And then The Rock doesn't show up at WrestleMania and then says, I didn't need to.
You know why? The UFL is doing terrible numbers. That's why. So The Rock's losing money.
So what? So
He's
what?
got bills to pay for the UFL.
Nobody cares about that football.
No, nobody at all.
But what that got to do with anything?
The Rock owns the UFL, so he's losing money on it.
He was also board member at
So
TKO,
then get the paycheck and go to Mania.
Yeah.
There's also a leak that he did have T-shirts designed for me that that didn't end up for sale.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Some wonky happened there with him and Triple H. I swear.
I don't know. Maybe there was a little bit of a tiff or something with the creative direction and that stuff and whatever. But anyway, so Cena, your new world heavyweight champion, shows up on Raw the next night, and I actually liked the heel promo he cut on Raw, talking about kind of the not philosophy, but the psychology, I should say, that he on this run is that he's basically achieved what he wants, and now he's going to run the clock out. He's got 26 dates now after SmackDown left with WWE. So he's just going to try to hold on to the belt and run the clock out. This is the equivalency of having like a 5-4 lead in hockey with 2 minutes left. And you're just, all right, we're just going to run the clock out.
I don't actually like his heel character right now. I think his heel character is very whiny. His heel character is very blamey. His heel character also doesn't have the muscle to back it up at all. Like, he needed a 120-pound rapper to help him win against Cody Rhodes.
Well, okay, but now that you put it that way, that actually makes more sense. He's older, he's slower, he's weaker, he needs help, but he's still got the big mouth like he's the big dog, but he really isn't. That's some good heel shit.
Mm-hmm.
But heel shit is, it's not my fault I'm mad, it's your fault I'm mad.
Yeah, he's blaming everybody else. That's heel stuff.
That's classic literary bad guy behavior. Is that
it's like it's like he can't blame
I'm
himself.
right and you're all in the wrong. Yes, that's what
he can't blame himself that he couldn't win a match for 5 years.
But again, if this is our final Cena, we've seen this character done by 1,000 different wrestlers. It's not very unique.
Who?
I don't have the name of the list. I could find you a name a list of thousands of wrestlers. Drew McIntyre. There you go. There's
Drew. Okay, yeah, good point. Yeah, Drew.
What do you mean?
Drew's done that. Ric
He's
Flair.
not at the end of his career.
Not at the end of his career, but
not the end of his career.
No. But the
I'm
whole
just talking
thing
about justified heel.
No. But Cena's not a justified heel. He's someone who's completely losing it. He doesn't have it anymore, and he's trying to grab on the only way that he knows how, including selling himself to The Rock, so he can get the help, so he can get all of these add-ons, and then blaming the fans instead of owning the fact that he's too old to keep doing this.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I did have the realization earlier today, like, why Travis Scott, he's reverting back to heel rapper character a bit, I think.
Oh, Cena.
So the
Yes.
Dr. Thugonomics, basically.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's like, why do I hang out with him? He's a rapper. Why? Because I'm also a rapper. I had to go back to rapping. 'cause he's
Do we
dead.
get a new album? That would be awesome.
Sorry, things. I didn't pump my fist to that. Things just happen in hockey land, and I'm happy.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
There we go. Cool. Excellent. Right on.
Is it the Winnipeg game?
No,
No, it was the overtime of a different game.
Oh, okay. So Ottawa won.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Good. Our resident Leaf fan couldn't join us tonight, so he's probably, I don't know,
Anyone but
blowing Leafs
TML.
out in his
Anyone
bra
but
or
TML.
something. So
Hey, those are my initials.
a funny thing, when I first initially started the kind of this new direction with the nitro stakes and that stuff, and I started using Mr. TL a little bit and that stuff, I would use the hashtag TML Talk to tag the videos on X because it would get a little bit more views. So
Right.
So you got Leafers every now and then.
yeah. So there might be some Leaf fans that are tuned into the stream tonight and that stuff, or later on. In which case, yeah.
In your face, you didn't get the sweep, bitches.
No sweep. So there we go. Mind you, we should calm down as Oiler fans here because
I know,
like,
but
okay,
I just
won
don't
last
like
night,
when the
but-
Leafs. I just like when they lose. That's all.
I know. The team I'm watching is Minnesota, but anyway, that's because dang,
You're gonna watch the team from Minnesota,
yeah, I'm going to watch the Wild.
the one that I helped bring back to the NHL
Yeah,
after
if
they
they-
were.
You did, Mr. Ventura.
That's right after unceremoniously taken to Dallas overnight.
That's right. That's a conspiracy theory episode right there.
Thanks for
That's a
saving hockey, Mr.
conspiracy.
The
Ventura.
Dallas Stars.
Thank you, as always, for saving hockey.
So,
I never
anyways,
said that.
we got to do our ratings out of 10 here, and then we'll kind of funnel on Raw and SmackDown about some of the returns and everything like that. So I'll start. So WrestleMania Night 2, I will give it a 8 out of 10. I thought it was superb. It was a lot better night than Night 1. I thought it flowed better, and I thought the crowd was hotter, and there were some BS finishes, like the main event finish was meh, and then there's a couple other things that I had written down here that
we totally forgot to talk about the fact that Cena used the belt to beat Cody Rhodes after Cody refused to use the belt to beat John Cena.
Yes,
which is the same kind of finish that AJ Styles had.
Finish.
There we go. Yeah.
It was the exact same finish as AJ and Logan.
Yes. Instead of nuts, it was the belt. Yes.
Yeah. Literally, they're the same finish in the same night. Oh,
yeah.
Why?
I guess the producers forgot to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No kidding. So. Oh man. Yeah.
Let's get a ranking from the house.
Yeah. Morehouse, what do you think out of 10 out of this thing?
This is a WrestleMania roller coaster where it started night 1 low and then got high and higher and higher, and then night 2, and then to start dropping again as the night went on. So I'm going to give it a 6 because of that. I thought it started strong, but it ended very, very weak.
So you said 6, right?
Yeah. Yep.
6. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. 6 for that.
The first half, I would rewatch in a heartbeat. The second, probably will never touch.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some all-time matches in the first half of this show, like a couple of them for sure. That women's title match is an all-timer, and that Intercontinental 4-way hooked that right to my veins, man. I was like, yeah, there we go. That's a damn good match.
Yeah,
like
you could probably stop the tape after Orton and Hendry and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I mean the Hendry pop was cool. I liked Hendry coming on. I was like, yeah, that's cool. So, Mr. TL out of 10.
To make it nice and easy, I'll give this one an 8 out of 10.
Sure.
Which is the same I gave it the first night. So my overall for WrestleMania in general is an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And where it falls off on all of them is the dick deflators to leave the show on both nights.
Yes. The Paul Heyman joining up with Seth, on night 1, and then the end of night 2 as well, where Cena walks out.
I also want to put this in perspective for everyone.
This was
last year at WrestleMania, to end it.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes in the rematch to try to finish his story against Roman Reigns. You've got help from The Rock because the night before it became a Bloodline rules match,
right?
Because The Rock and Roman beat Cody and Seth.
Yes.
And you had interference from what is it, Solo, you got interference from John Cena, you got interference coming in from the Undertaker, from
Uso.
Seth Rollins. It was such a overbooked spectacle of nuttiness that finishes with,
But it was glorious.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
It was glorious.
It was such a nutball fiasco. It was amazing. It was amazing, the finish for WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
And then this year was just
it might
such
have
a
been one of the. It might be one of the best Mania finishes 40 that I ever. I was very entertained with the 40th finish.
Yeah, exactly. That's a key word right there. It was the most entertaining thing you could have possibly watched that people were talking about for weeks.
Yes.
For weeks.
Yeah.
This, nobody's talking about this.
No, there's not a lot of talk. I mean, there was a little bit of chatter in the days after that Cena won the title because Cena was doing all these public appearances on different shows with the belt and that stuff. And now by the end of the week, it's okay, we're moving on, whatever, stuff's happening.
But you see, that's the thing, is that it's not even close to Cody Rhodes finishing the story compared to Cena wins the most titles ever in WWE.
Yeah.
Because even in a realistic standpoint, when you win a title, that's the company just giving you a belt.
Yes.
So for 17 times, they just gave the belt to Cena.
Yeah.
For Cody Rhodes, it's, I finally earned my way, that the company trusted me enough to earn the title, that they would give it to me. Something that they gave to my dad and took it back right away. And that my family had never held for the entire time out of all the belts that they did win in this lead up. So, I mean,
and the Rhodes were never the choice of the McMahon family. The Rhodes were never going to be the McMahon's pick. You watched how they booked Dusty. They booked Dusty like a clown. You watch how they booked Dustin. They booked Dustin like a clown. You see how they booked Cody originally. They booked Cody like a clown.
Yeah.
That was the other thing that my dad said, because I had to explain who Cody Rhodes was. I'm like, remember Dusty Rhodes? He wore and my dad's like, the polka dot guy? I'm like, yeah, that guy. That's his son. And he's like, oh, wait, I thought Goldust was his son. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's also his kid.
That's
like,
his kid.
So that's Goldust's brother. I'm like, yeah. Like, well, at least he's not a weirdo like his brother. And then he saw Cody do a Cody cutter off the rope. He's like, wow, he's way more athletic than his fat ass dad was. I'm like, yeah, he was.
You gotta get his take on maybe like some of the classic shows.
My dad is really good for the one-liners.
Yeah.
You're right. So, the story last year was much better because Cody had to overcome an entire anti-McMahon Rhodes feud that's gone on for over 30 years to finally be the leader of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's right.
And then this year was just, what the fuck?
You had an all-timer storyline, and then you had a storyline in which The Rock came out in January and basically said at the Rumble, at Elimination Chamber that, this is going to be, this will be epic. This will be an all-timer. This will be even better than last year, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't. This is kind of fair to Midland, honestly, all the stuff that came out. There's some stuff that might have some steam, but not really. And then there's other stuff that, okay, we called it. Now what? So
I saw no Undertaker.
Yeah. Well,
I want your soul. You can't have my soul. All right, then.
Yeah, that's with that. And that's about
Hey,
it,
I justified the soul angle earlier because John Cena needed to do it because he can't do it on his own anymore because he's too old and slow.
Yeah. You didn't justify it for The Rock's perspective, but yeah.
Needs a pill? No.
I did not, because I don't know what the hell's happening there. And The Rock and Triple H got something going on. There's something there that there's got to be a reason that Triple H did not mention The Rock once in his Hall of Fame speech.
Yes, we'll see here in the coming weeks and months if we hear either Rock departing TKO and selling off his majority shares or whatever.
Why would he do that? It's the only thing that makes him money.
I don't know. Or the other thing is Triple H leaving creative again, but
why would they do that? They just gave him a dick sucking ceremony for 3 hours.
That's right. So, yeah, maybe they just they just status quo for a bit.
Triple H gave a shout out to people he went to the gym with when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And did not mention The Rock.
Yeah. Triple H even mentioned China during his Hall of Fame speech, which we didn't think was going to be a thing. And he did.
This is actually probably the first weekend year he's mentioned China in probably 10
Yeah.
or 15 years on a positive note.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he did her wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He did her
Totally.
wrong.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. She definitely should be in their Hall of Fame on her own. And yeah, but that's another discussion.
I think he might have mentioned the Ultimate Warrior. Thank you for my first WrestleMania match, and did not mention The Rock.
And The Rock.
And we just reviewed a show where him and The Rock had a ladder match. A very important SummerSlam. Yeah.
Your feud. Yeah.
The Rock was the only thing keeping Triple H relevant in those years. And when The Rock went away and Triple H did Evolution, the company went in the friggin' tank.
Yep. Yeah.
And SmackDown started to be Raw in ratings.
Yes. Yes, exactly right.
Because we got tired of Triple H burying everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, because Triple H has always sucked. Hey, sorry to say it. In the ring as a character and a promo, he was always garbage and needed the really awesome heels opposition.
I can't believe you're talking about me like that, Mr. Deal. We're not going to be friends.
Well, The Rock says that he's still a champion, so shut up, bitch.
Yeah.
That's the part that everyone kept, is what The Rock said and not what Triple H said.
The Rock says, yes.
And Triple H had mania after mania after mania after mania of garbage matches. Him and Orton stunk out the joint. Him and Batista stunk out the joint.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Him and Roman stunk out the joint.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. So, well, we'll see what happens.
Other than Taker, I can't think of great Triple H matches. You're right.
Yeah.
And hey, even his matches with Undertaker, the ones he did with HBK were way better.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they had to bring in HBK to be the special guest referee to make it more exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. For the Last Outlaw, or not Last Outlaw, but the Last of the Dying Breed thing when the Hell in the Cell.
They wouldn't say it, but it was the best of the new generation of WWF.
I thought it was like just the goodbye to the Attitude Era, if it was.
But it wasn't. It was even before that, because all those guys came from the new era, the new generation.
The way you said that, you sounded just like Howard Finkel in my headphones. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. The following contest is for one.
The World Wrestling Federation for over 25 years.
Axe and smash. Demolition.
Is that the video game you're doing?
No, I think his internet kind of cut out a little bit there. It actually sounded more epic when he did that. It was pretty cool. There we go. Quickly chatting on about Raw and SmackDown after Mania. Are we going any, like, it looks like this Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins thing, they've brought Braun Breaker in now, and there's speculation that Becky Lynch is going to be the female member of this, and this is going to be like a new Paul Heyman guy / girl.
You know why I don't believe that?
Why am I starting to think Death Riders as soon as you said that?
They're trying to reboot the Dangerous Alliance, and it turns out to be the Death Riders. Oh boy, that's not good.
Here's my thing: the entire bloodline did not include Naomi, and she's married to one of the Usos.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I don't think they need to bring in Becky Lynch, nor should they. Let her do her own thing.
Yeah.
Because if they do another Evolution,
Naomi would be good heel, actually. Naomi would be a good addition to that group. Now that you mention it, because she's heel. She doesn't have anything going on.
They could, but I mean, the whole bloodline thing's a little bit in shambles right now. But you mean if they brought her into this group? Oh, that's interesting.
Into the new group, into the Seth Rollins group, yeah.
To the
Heyman group.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
But either way, I don't know. I hate Seth Rollins so much. I just think, like, as after his song is done and you have to look at his stupid clothes and listen to his stupid voice, there's nothing to go off of.
I think he'll get a world title match out of this against Jay. Uso probably during the summer sometime, and
yeah, good for them.
we'll see.
As another YouTube channel, New Legacy Inc. would say, every time I see Seth Rollins, he reminds me of Waluigi.
Wah! It's not for the same reasons, but for me, seeing Seth Rollins reminds me of Jeff Jarrett in the 90s.
Oh, so you're talking like, are we talking Don't Piss Me Off, the Stroke Jeff Jarrett? Are we talking country music Jeff Jarrett, or are we talking Don't Piss Me Off Jeff Jarrett?
Country music Jeff Jarrett. You just hear that song and Dick Deflate.
JEFF JARRE double T. Double T.
Double T.
Double T. Double T.
I don't think you spell that right, but you had the right spirit.
Sorry, it was
It's the JEFF JARRE double T.
Kellen,
Derp.
Kellen, you spelled Jargamete Jarmerit.
Yeah, you did.
Oh no, I gave out my Wi-Fi password over the internet. No, just kidding.
That's hilarious. But yeah, that's what I see whenever Seth Rollins does anything. I just see Jeff Jarrett in the 90s.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I can
Yuck.
this is, they're trying to give him a new coat of paint with Paul Heyman now and that stuff. I'm just not sure if it'll work or not.
How about give him a cough drop and a lozenge so he can stop sounding like that?
I
am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Krusty the Clown.
Well, I guess the good news for you, Mr. Teal, is because of this, we're going to get even more Seth Rollins for the next calendar year as he's booked in this big angle.
Yes, he's in a big. They're doing something with him.
He's not going anywhere. It's just I hate him.
So we got that. Oh, Aleister Black shows back up on SmackDown from AEW.
And Rusev on Raw.
And Rusev on Raw. So I'll start with Aleister Black. They brought him back with the Aleister Black presentation with the CFO Money theme song and the whole raising up from the depths of the arena and the whole deal and the candles and whatever. Yeah.
He'll never be evil.
Yeah. No man is truly ever good. No man is ever truly evil. Yes.
Hey man, that theme song kicks ass.
It's a good theme. It is.
It's a loop, but still it's good.
Yeah. Well, that's all CFO Money themes are, is a 2 or 3 minute loop of the same thing. Or like 90-second loop.
Yeah, it's a 90-second. It's a nice WWF No Mercy loop.
Yeah. But that was the last real time that WWE theme music was really hot, was when they were doing their themes. CFO Money, I should say. Because you got the viralness of
it's
Bobby Roode stuff.
Because we actually hated CFO when CFO was producing music. That's the funny thing. And now we have a worse producer. We're looking at CFO being like, oh, we miss CFO now.
Oh, the rose-colored glasses thing. Yeah, okay.
No. I like CFO because I like what they did with Nakamura's. Yeah. I like AJ Styles. I like Samoa Joe. Like I thought they were knocking it out the park.
Aleister Black is a good one.
Yeah. Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Original Charlotte, original Bailey. That was a slap.
You have to talk about Bobby Roode, the glorious
Bobby Roode. Oh my God.
That's
Ty
phenomenal.
Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger, yes. Yeah.
Yo, they was killing my WWF playlist on my phone that I never
Johnston's 2008 music, which I think is all-time classics like Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Wade Barrett, all that music I thought was really good with Jim Johnston at the time.
Alberto Del Rio,
yeah.
Jeff Hardy.
That was a great theme song.
Jeff Hardy, yeah. No more words, Jeff Hardy, yeah. Okay.
No, but I like CFO stuff. The only right now their music is garbage because I'm like a Bailey. I don't even know what happens when she comes out.
They're in between music producers right now. So they've kicked whoever they had before to the curb. They're looking for somebody to produce music, or they're looking at licensing. So they're going to go like a little bit of the AEW route, license music and that stuff, and then get the license back for a lot of CFO Money themes and Jim Johnston themes, stuff like that for guys. So
I gotta say, the only theme song that I like right now that's new is Chelsea Green's.
Yeah. That's a hot track. Yeah.
That's the only one that I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
See, I like Braun Breakers. the only one I really like.
And that's like his fourth theme. They've changed his theme up like 3 or 4 different times. Like, so his theme in WWE 2K24 is not the theme that they're using now on TV for him, and it's not the same theme he had in 2K23 either. So,
Does it start with a siren?
majority of
Yes.
them do. Yes.
Well, then that's all I remember.
That's all they remember. Yeah.
I don't remember anything else after that.
Now you got Jordan Grace on NXT, who also starts her theme with a siren. So everybody has sirens. Everybody has sirens or caution tape. Everybody thinks they're
Oh,
Owen Hart.
jeez.
Also, the current music producer has to have an entrance with an intro being like, "Do it yourself," or "Here comes Chelsea."
Watch me. That was Liv Morgan. Thank you.
I will say this though: the El Gran Americano, which we talked about on the last show, it's for a joke gimmick. It's starting to rub on me a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's I can dig this a little bit.
It's no joke gimmick. He's an incredible luchador from
Yeah, well, we talked about this the last show.
I think that's the funny part is that he actually is like a really good wrestler. Yo, I can't wait till they bring him into AAA. That's going to be so
gonna
damn
be great.
funny.
That the match at Worlds Collide, whoever it'll be, even if it's like Penta or Ray Phoenix versus El Grande Americano, it'll be awesome.
It should be like somebody
That'll be good.
It should be somebody who like stands for their company, like Vikingo or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
Ingo's the perfect guy.
And I think that'll be the case because of the physicality at Mania. That's something that they could use in the video package and that stuff. It'd be Vikingo versus El Grande Americano 1-on-1.
It'll be such a good match, and it's just the booze. I can just taste it.
That'll be great. That'll be a tasty card. That's gonna be fun. That'll be a fun show to review.
Do you think they'll make Rey Mysterio the GM for AAA?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be a perfect way to switch over into retirement.
Yeah, that'd be a great, or just have him because he's hurt. Still have him on TV.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah. He doesn't even have to be GM of AAA. He could be just what's Ariana Grace's character on NXT, the NXT TNA liaison. You give him the WWE AAA liaison position.
Ariana Grande is the liaison between TNA and WWE?
No, what's it? That's Santino Morella's daughter. That's on NXT. What's their character name?
That's a different.
Oh, I thought you meant the girl from Wicked.
They got
Never
an A-list
mind.
musician or an A-list musician to be the liaison of NXT and TNA wrestling.
Can you imagine?
Hey, you know it's even more ridiculous than that. Having a multi-platinum, multi-Grammy rapper smack Cody Rhodes in the face with no receipt.
Yeah, let's have him potato people. This over and
Oh,
over again.
Lord.
Potato. That's... I don't get it, boys. I don't get it.
Ariana Grande coming to NXT. Interesting.
Of course. So,
As long as you wear
whoops.
the bunny outfit.
The bunny out.
Giggity. See, now that's the opposite of a boner deflator.
See, I know TL's type, so that's like, okay, yeah, I could see that. The Sasha Banks types of the world, or the Ariana Grande.
Sasha Banks is wifey.
But not Mercedes Moné. We've been.
No, I don't like Mercedes Moné.
It's all right, Tracy. It's all right.
She dirty. I don't like her. She ain't got nothing on Sasha Banks.
Do you want your
I miss
pancake
my
now,
wifey.
Mr. Tracy Morgan?
Yeah, you want to talk about all-time bad theme songs? That first Mercedes Moné theme that she had in Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling was pretty bad.
I don't like her AEW one either. Her AEW one is just people going like CEO, CEO, CEO.
Which is holy crap, what a downgrade.
Yeah.
She had Snoop Dogg doing the remix of her WWE version. I'm like, yo, she's made it.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
CEO, CEO, CEO.
the robot. Yes, exactly. So, well, we still agree though. WWE is the hottest product out there right now. But their questions and direction and that stuff right now, it's kind of really murky after Mania. It's the opposite of last year where, okay, here's their set direction. They're going for it. Bloodline's still, kindling somewhat. And you had the split of the Bloodline happening. So it's okay, that's cool. And then you have Cody as the babyface white meat champion. Okay, great, whatever. Now it's okay. Cena's got the belt. Is he going to, I guess the whole thing is he going to run the clock out and take the belt with him? And they've already announced the Universal title is being retired anyway. So that could very well just happen. And they show up the next night on Raw and say, okay, the WWE Winged Eagle Championship is our World Heavyweight title now. And it's vacant.
But then that's against that supports John Cena's story of the next title after me will be a paper champion.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if there's somebody even on the roster right now that's conditioned to take the belt off of him.
Everybody is
not till the end of the year.
Yeah.
But anybody could take it off him. He's weak and old and pale.
Maybe Cody gets it back off of him. I don't know. I don't know.
Cody has no storyline right now. Cody is creatively directionless at the moment.
No, his storyline right now is I just lost my belt to an old man and 120-pound rapper.
And a rapper.
Yeah.
And somehow The Rock is involved in this happening to me. So
I'm gonna hit on this too to kind of close off the discussion here. Travis Scott being rumored for a potential WWE tag match this summer. You would think it would be with John Cena as his partner versus what sounds like could be Cody Rhodes and Bad Bunny. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be a main event for a Saudi show or what's going on there, but that's the rumor right now.
I want to know who is this match for? Because it damn sure ain't for the wrestling fans. No, but it damn sure ain't for the wrestling fans.
No.
It won't be for the Cody fans.
No.
It won't be for the hip-hop fans. It won't be for the Latino reggaeton fans.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this for?
You know what I thought when I first heard the rumor of this? It's like, oh, they're going summer of 98 WCW on us. Because in the summer of 98 in WCW, we had DDP Karl Malone versus Hogan and Rodman.
Hey,
and then a month later, we had Jay Leno.
Hey.
DDP versus Hogan and Bischoff.
My opinion on here is Dennis Rodman was hot as hell. WCW took advantage of him at the time.
Yeah,
Dennis Rodman was a household name.
The 98 NBA Finals was one of the best finals in history.
Yeah, they were in the NBA Finals.
Going head-to-head with each other, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And,
this isn't just
Rodman
musicians.
throwing up the too sweet to Bischoff in the crowd and that stuff and the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't just two random musicians in the 90s going at it.
Yeah.
I can't even think of two funny
there's no build.
now.
There's no build.
These are two guys that were actually in the 98 NBA final that are fighting 2 months later on a pay-per-view. Why wouldn't I want to
save us, Bad Bunny? Although I don't think Bad Bunny would save us. So there we go. But anyways,
this would have been like if the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Yeah, now there's something if you could get in the ring that would make money. Kendrick versus Drake, but
yes, but you cannot get that in the ring.
No.
So I don't know why they bothered.
There might be legit fatalities that happen if you tried to do that. So
yes.
So,
but I'm saying like, if you go back to '98, like having two singers come in the ring and wrestle, that'd be like having like a Survivor Series match between the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
War Games.
Oh yeah, War Games.
Well, when we finally get together to play 2K25, boys, they got the War Games match. You know what War Games we're doing? We're just boy band War Games.
It'd be so funny because as soon as the bell rings, they go at each other like.
Who starts? Okay, so hypothetically,
you're hurting me, Joey. You're hurting me, Joey.
Do you have Joey Fatone in the ring versus AJ from Backstreet Boys?
I thought his name was Joey Fat One.
Nick Carter's the heater. Oh my God.
No, him and Justin Timberlake are the that's the main event.
I was going to say they're the last two that are in.
They're the last entrant. Yeah.
And JT's the one doing the fiery babyface comeback after getting beat down. Oh God!
Wait a minute, the lights are out.
Bronson. How he's going to do the Bronson Reed avalanche from the top of the cage.
Oh, shit.
Nope. Then the lights go out, and all of a sudden the lights come back, and Boyz II Men are in the ring. You stole all of our music.
Oh, God. Invasion.
And you guys are better.
Yeah. It's Boyz II Men. It's Boyz II Men. My God.
You just king.
Wanya's got him down
Never be the same
on
again.
bended knee. Oh, no.
King screaming at ringside like Bird Girl. Just.
No, sorry. Boyz II Men are signed with AEW because they'll be at World's End.
Oh. And on
Okay,
that,
fine. It's the 90s, so they black out and the lights come back, and it's the Jackson 5 all grown up. And Michael like looks at
Aren't two of you
Timberlake.
dead?
You stole all my moves. Ah! And then he goes after him.
they just go right to black with like the reverse Joe Hendry zoom in on Michael. But he does like that.
Yo, their entrance would be
We'll
dope.
see you
though.
tomorrow night.
Yo, but their entrance would be dope. Just fully choreographed, going down to the ring and shit.
It's got to be ABC.
The Thriller.
It's got to be ABC.
That's I Want You Back. But anyways,
Yeah.
this has gone way off the rails for a WrestleMania.
I'm going to tell the Undertaker here to rest in peace. And we'll do our socials and get on out of here for the evening. So, man, that was great. So, Morehouse, I know you're still getting this kayfabe wrestling stuff all together. I know you'll announce when that's all rolling, and we'll retweet onto our socials and everything once that stuff gets going, for people can follow you online when that's all up and running. So, there we go. We should also say that your classic pay-per-view choice, which will be the next time you see all of us together, plus the big Leaf Man, one Craig P. Frazier, will be TNA Unbreakable 2005. Frazier apparently has watched it. I'm not going to spoil what he said, but he's watched it already. So,
and apparently it's on YouTube.
Ooh.
So anybody out there who would like to watch along with us, you may go ahead.
I'll retweet the link on my socials here after this show gets published and everything. But yeah, it's on TNA's YouTube channel. Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're proud of it.
And
They love this pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at TMLU TAN for WWF.
There you go.
No longer exists, but still, it exists in our heart.
Yes, absolutely. If you have a show you'd like for us to watch, we'll work it into the rotation. You can email us, nitromaniactv@gmail.com. We need the name of the show and what streaming service it's on, because if you're going to suggest like a random ECW show, we need a link to it, because I probably don't have that in the video library to rip, unfortunately. So, but
and also don't forget, we're booked up for a couple already.
we are, yes, because we're, TNA Unbreakable is Morehouse's pick. My pick is ECW's Barely Legal 1997, and it all culminates with the Darkest Timeline finale, TL's Over the Edge 1999 pick, which, boys, it's on Netflix. I don't know how long it'll be on Netflix, but it's there. Just double checked again. So
We gotta watch. I gotta see it. I gotta see
it's
it
on Netflix. Yes,
I need to know how they finished that night. The way that after what happened.
I have it favorited on Netflix. So
See no evil, say no evil.
you're no evil.
Yeah, we're not going to watch that movie.
I think it was Over the Edge the year before, where you had McMahon as the ref and you had Briscoe as the timekeeper and Patterson as the
Oh yeah,
as the ring
that was
announcer.
Dude Love McFoley.
Dude Love Austin, right?
Yeah.
98. We're talking 99 here.
I hated Dude Love. I just hated that gimmick so much.
Oh, God. All right. Well, for myself, for Calvin Nitro, for Mr. TL, and for the Morehouse, we'll see you guys next time here on Nitro Maniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. Do take care and a good night wherever you are. We'll do the too sweet as we go out to the video. Come on, Morehouse, give us a too sweet.
You got the little man, you got the big man, and you got the bigger man.